Hello everyone, Strikoder here and welcome back to a new episode. In today's episode we're gonna solve a Linux easy machine on HackTheBox called Cap. So let's get started. First of all, I'm gonna take the IP and gonna type export all IP equals this IP, and I'm gonna try to ping the IP to check if everything is going alright. Then I'm gonna check Nmap, so Nmap -b dash for scanning all the ports, and svsc for version and scripts enumeration, the IP, and V for verbose. So we see 222180. So I'm gonna start by FTP. Let me check. So FTP and anonymous. I'm gonna check anonymous if we have anonymous authentication. So here we have lag, so we don't. And if you are in IRL pen testing or in an exam like PMPT, you would test SSH as well. So let me check. SSH anonymous at IB. Yes. So it takes passwords, so that's a finding, but I believe it's a low finding or informational. I'm not really sure. I don't believe it's informational. So let me check Firefox for now. So our way in would be through the browser. And over here, let me export or echo, to be more precise, the IP and take that into here. And since it's port 80, so HTTP, and we have this dashboard with Nathan. So I like to check messages. Maybe we have some clear text credentials, settings, nothing. Logout. So here we see that we have hashtags, so probably nothing's gonna happen. Dashboard takes us to a new page, but it's the same thing. So messages, these pages are not yet implemented. Okay, that's a button. Okay, let me check source code. Maybe there is a hint. Because it's an easy machine, I will not check the code that precisely that I would usually do in a medium machine. Let's check over here. So we have ipconfig, maybe a place for command injection and network status as well. So over here, okay, we see something like Wireshark. Is it a Wireshark connection? Not a connection, like Pcap, I believe. Maybe by the name, cap. No, it's from Linux. So that's netstat dash tunnel p. It would give such a thing. Do we see anything here? So it doesn't show. Here we see the 80, 53, and 22. Do we see anything looping back to the local host 53? And here we have sus host. Maybe that's, I don't really know what is this. Maybe that's for the privilege escalation. So yeah, we see over here netstat. We can do enumeration for the directories if we haven't seen anything in here. So here, as we see the IP command, we see the interfaces. Ethical 0, not ethical, I mean the first one, and over here the local one. Security. Okay, so it's lagging right now. What do we have over here? So we have data type and value, number of packets, number of IP packets. Okay, and search. Maybe here is gonna be a SQL injection. So user. Okay, we see the search parameter changes here. So we can do by purpose suite scan. Maybe we can check over here if we have any RCE by color lib. Let me start by downloading this. I'm gonna check what's here. So it's a Pcap. How to search? So enter display filter, maybe user. Nah, that's not how I search for a word. Well, let me check on Google then. How to search for a string in Wireshark. Because as a person who is interested in red teaming, I rarely use Wireshark, to be honest. How do I search capture? Grep, I don't need to use grep within. Accept. So Control F, find by string. Let me try Control F. Yeah, it's here. So user maybe pass auth. Okay, nothing in here. Let me check. So we see number of packets 12. Are they 12? Yes, they are. And these are for user Nathan. Can we change the user? Like maybe here. So I see now it's user 2, which is strange. So each time I press that, it increments automatically, or what's happening? So currently it's 1. So what happened over there? What's the logic that we got to? Okay, so each time we press, it's either 1 or 2. So here there are 14. That's interesting. So here we see some interesting stuff. TCP and HTTP found and TXT. A URL reaching data to. If not, click the link. Okay, so nothing interesting. It's showing an HTTP file. So let me take that, or let me fire up burp. I don't like firing up burp for easy machines, but I don't like to be humbled on a machine that I'm doing for the first time. So I shouldn't done as well writing my stuff on Notion, because I have many stuff to do. So first of all, trying these. So IDOR, I believe it's called, enumerating from 1 to 100, and trying to use other user, and trying to search for RCE for this, and then trying to check over here. Maybe I said there might be an command injection, but I haven't seen any place to inject. And over here, the search parameter that we see as a get. So let me start from the beginning by this. I'm gonna refresh and switching to burp. So here we see just a normal. Okay, so I'm gonna go to here. So get capture, send that to repeater. And here is what I really want. So here we see 3. Of course, it's gonna return 300. Okay. So what I'm looking for, maybe I'm gonna curl for the first 100 and then check all of them. Yeah, maybe that's a thing. So let me check. Make directory to delete, cd into that, and vim request.text. And over here, How can I do that? Oops. So let me check. We send this. Where do we get the download? Okay. So I'm getting from download 3 on click. So let me send a request to here. I'm gonna pass this. So if you turn off the intercept, you pass all the packets that were intercepted. But I got an error over here. Let me check. So I believe you can do that by Python, but I'm gonna take that immediately from the download button. So get download, I'm gonna forward that, and we have our file downloaded. Okay, so history. Where is our history? Download. This is our request. Okie dokie. Is this really what do we want? No, it was dash download, I believe. Right, let me check. Download. And send. And yeah, here we see the downloaded stuff. So let me try by curl. So it's not about data, it's about download. I'm gonna exit. I'm not gonna save to a file. I'm gonna take this. Or how do we format? I believe we take this and as an HTTP. So let me form that. Curl dash all HTTP this. Then since it's a get dash download dash IB not IB dash 3 cat 3. Okay, so dot p what was pcap isn't captured in correctly. Let me check. I'm gonna remove everything. Maybe by wget. So it's an HTML. That's not really what do we want. I haven't captured that correctly, so let me capture that now. Target. Is it in sitemap? Nope. Intercept, yep. Okay, is this the request that we are searching for? I don't think so. So probably this is. Okay, so I believe I'm not going to do that by curl. Let me check. I'm going to do that with in interpreter. Maybe that would work. I'm not really sure. Let me check. So here we get 200 okay, and we get this. Okay, let me check again by wget. So we get the download 3, and we have this. So yep, we need not to append the .pcap, then it will install the .pcap automatically. So that's why we need to test manually before launching our script. So here we have wget. I'm gonna say for I in $sequence from -1. I would like to test -1 and 0. I would check if minus would work over here as well, till 100. Do wget install -i, and then I believe we need done, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. Sequence -1 0. Do I need a comma? I don't think so. Wget download done. So yep, we have an issue. So with do over here, there is an issue. So our for loop, we have semicolon, do wget http, it's not TTPS, IP download -i. Oh, okay, I see. So we need semicolon that we are starting a new file, a new line. So it's a one-liner bash, but we need to be precise that we are separating them by line. And over here we see not found, not found, not found. So how many files do we have? From 0 to 4. So let's start from file 0, open 0. And it defines by file what program should it open. And we see a dozen of stuff. We see FTP. I like always to start by protocol. So HTTP, we see an CSS, I mean, and here we see an authentication to FTP, which is nice. So here, goodbye. So there's gonna be an authentication somewhere down below, Nathan. So here is our username, and here is the password. That's great. So we can now reach FTP, Nathan, and let me check the password. So it's a clear text password. I believe from here copy and then value, and oops, let me change into here if I might type. Okay, export all user equals Nathan, and export all pass equals, so it has exclamation mark, that's why we need single quotation, and FTP user at IB, and I'm gonna paste the password, login successful, and we have limpy's best.txt. Oops. So I'm gonna download, I believe it was get limpy's.out. Maybe there will be our privilege escalation vector, and get pass.txt. Maybe we have another pass for another user. Snap, which is a directory. Let's check what's in there. ls lxd. There might be, okay, I will not go there, but that might be our the group lxd might be our privilege escalation vector as well. And let me list directory again. I'm gonna get back, list directory again, get the user.txt. I'm gonna out, control D, or maybe exit. No, control D works. And let me cat limpy's.out. I will not check that for now, just for now, because I'm interested to get the initial foothold, cat pass, cat user. Okay, we see that might be another pass or another user. I'm gonna check by export pass to equals to this fluff and FTP. Let me check again. Can we connect? Nah, incorrect. So we might find another user and that might be its path. Maybe the user is called Baba, which is not very common. So my terminal died. Okay. My whole carry machine has died. I'm gonna pause for a sec. So I restarted the machine and let me try again with the FTP. So maybe here I wanted to try Baba and I'm gonna copy the pass without Baba. Let's try. Okay, that's incorrect. I'm gonna quit. So now for SSH, user at IB. So most of the time SSH don't work correctly with the IB, but let's try. I'm gonna copy that pass. Okay, that worked fine. And who am I? We are Nathan. So here we have everything. Cat. Please don't die on me again. Wait a sec. Is that our user pass? Not the guided mode? Is that our user flag? Ah, it is. Okay, I see. I see. Piece of cake. And we need the root flag. Okay, so always I would start with sudo -l. We need a password. I type our password. And that's strange for an easy machine. You would usually use either the same password or without any password. Okay, that's fine. So after the sudo -l, I like to check the home directory. What users do we have? We have only Nathan. Maybe change into opt and see what stuff do we have over there. Nothing as well. Maybe we change into I mean, maybe with the MNT we might find something over there. It's empty as well. So usually I would check getcap as well, -r, and don't quote me on that. Maybe that was def null. Do we have the home root? I'm not sure. Let me check. So yeah, that was correct. And I like to open simultaneously GTFO, go fuck yourself, bin. I'm sorry, I GTFO bin. Okay, it's refusing because perp is off. That's what GTFO means. So, first of all, we have GSTBTB helper. That's always available. That's not our way in. MTR packet as well. Trace, I'm not sure. Trace route, no, it's not. And Python that sus. Okay, so we have Python and its capability. So we see capabilities and we copy this. So let's understand before copying what are we doing. So if the binary has Linux cab setuid, do we have that? Yes, we have cab setuid. So that's our way in. Or it's executed by another binary with the capability set. It can be used as a backdoor to maintain privileged access by manipulating its own process UID. So we change process UID into the 0, which is root. Okie dokie. So we run sudo. Is that going to work? Okay, so we are getting the same issue. So copy that. Let me check. So I'm gonna try Python 3. Who am I? We are root. So to check precisely if we are actually root or not, cd into root. Maybe that's only a Docker container or not an actual root. Okay, cat root dot text. Oh man. So yeah, that was it guys. Thank you for watching and see you next time.